What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, RedoptionAgency.com, 22 years selling full-time on eBay. And today is my last video. Before vacation, that is. All right. Some of you are probably like, yes, no more videos from this butthead. Others were probably crying. I understand. I would miss me too. But, oh, I don't know what I did yesterday. I did something to screw up my back. And if you know, I'm always babying my back because in 2012 I had 2 discs cut on, herniated discs. And, it's supposed to last like 6 years. And we're on 11 years now. So I baby it. I don't know what I did yesterday. I took I didn't do anything abnormal that I can remember. So I'm like, really? So I'm standing there working and then my leg just goes numb and then just shooting pain starts going down my leg. I'm like, no, it's right before vacation. And it's never been that painful in a long time. So I'm like, great. So, been swallowing pills to get relaxed, get the muscle relaxers, get the pain pills in and try to chill out. So I slept in this morning. We're at 10:30 right now. It's more just laying there than sleeping, just relaxing because I got to get this right by the end of the day because I am not going on vacation well, I am if I don't want to go on a vacation with pain going down my leg, especially because we'll be walking a good amount. So as of right now, even though probably because I just got up, it's better than it was last night. So that's good. So I might not be too involved at the bins. I might be playing it lightly at the bins Sunday in Nashville. Yeah, I'm not stretching too far. I'll walk around and grab that. It ain't gonna stop me. All right. So what's going on? Let's see what happened with eBay yesterday. Kind of stunk for the day as a whole. Only made it to $484, so not even $5 again. Ever since that Sunday big spike, we just had that huge disappointment. And then I was messing with things. But we'll see what happens. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going on vacation. The way I'm looking at it is less it sells, the less Adrian has to do. We're at 10:30. I'm at $117, so that's good. So I think my numbers had to be very small yesterday since I'm not running a 30% off sale. 23 items sold, 5 organic, 18 promoted. This morning we got 8 items sold, 1 organic, 7 promoted. But anyway, let's do some questions and comments real quick. I got a pack today. I got to get, and then Jan will be packing after she gets home. She gets off it's supposed to be at 8, but she's been staying till like 9:30. So instead of 12 hours, our days are turned into 13 plus hours. But, so she hasn't done anything yet. So she hasn't had time. So I got to do packing today. I got to get all the stuff together. Got to get my Chromebook set up with all my logins so I can keep up with emails and such. Because you never get a vacation when you own your own business. Ooh, excuse me. What else I got to do? I got to get all the stuff I am taking with me. Boom. Take that upstairs. Take some burn stickers with me, just in case I run into people in Nashville that I know. I'm like, here you go. Or who recognize me. Be like, here you go. Here's your burn sticker. And gotta worry about my girl, Miss Courtney. So tonight I gotta give the boys their run through. Make sure you talk to her. Here's the places you rub her. Scratch behind the ears. Scratch the belly. Give them the whole 411. Since she's gonna need extra attention, since she's gonna be no other puppy in the house. But I don't stress over vacations or nothing like packing or anything, because if I forget something, I just buy it along the way. As you know, I like taking those trips where I don't pack any clothes except underwear and socks and shoes, and buy my clothes along the way. There just really ain't enough thrift stores down in that area to do it. There's about, I guess there is technically, if you go, I know of 4, so I guess I could. And then, of course, along the way. But in chillier weather, got to make sure I have my long sleeves and my jacket and my jeans. I don't like wearing uncomfortable jeans because I don't like wearing jeans, period. But if we're going to be outside walking at like Dollywood and stuff, I got to wear jeans. So they got to be my comfortable jeans, which are like Mark Anthony jeans from Kohl's. Because they're very comfortable for some reason. Let's see. I downgraded my subscription with the Bay. Sales have been crummy past months of couple. Sales have been crummy past month, a couple great days, and then 0 sales. eBay has made it where after 6 years selling, I have to go for a boss man. I'll wait it out and see if I can get back into the Bay full-time again. Bebe needs to get stuff together. It's funny calling it Bebe. COVID caused me to lay off 4 workers. Now this. Terrible. The amount of people that's downgraded their store. I mean, if that hasn't got somebody's attention, what will, you know? So many people have done that. The stock's actually up 1.61, or actually $1.61. How'd they jump up like that? eBay stock underperforms Wednesday when compared to Q3 earnings preview. Will eBay beat their projection? eBay is scheduled to report Q3 earnings results on November 7th. Investors are on edge after the company's Q2 earnings disappointment. Can eBay beat expectations this time? I don't see it happening, but we will see. Let's see. Investors are on edge after eBay's disappointment. Last quarter, when gross merchandise volume fell 2% to $18.2 billion. This quarter, however, there is hope gross merchandise value will increase slightly as the company returns to its growth-focused posture. Really? How are they returning to that if they're not running any holiday ads? They update the site during fourth quarter. How is that growth-focused posture? Analyst ratings for eBay stand at 8 buy ratings, 21 hold ratings, and 2 sell ratings, with an average target price of $48.58 per share. The stock price is trading at 38.96 shares after dropping over 11% last month. The number of active buyers is also under the microscope, but analysts see the number falling slightly as the company turns its focus to quality over quantity strategy. That's messed up. I mean, that kind of says it all right there. Why our smaller stores are getting pushed aside. But analysts see the numbers falling slightly as the company turns its focus to quality over quantity strategy. Artificial intelligence investments and its international segment are also in focus, but for now, those segments are expected to drag in operating margins. My question is, how long are we going to have to suffer before they realize they made the wrong moves? Or will it ever pan out that way? eBay, I'm sorry, it's your everything place. It always has been. And that will never change in the eyes of consumers. It just won't. So why you would abandon that really makes no logical sense whatsoever. Because you're abandoning probably the biggest portion of your buyers and sellers by doing that. So we'll see if it sticks. Only time's going to tell, for sure. I mean, from our end, obviously, it looks dismal. Like there's no way this could keep happening. What's it? $40.61 now, up $1.54. Year to date, it is down 3.65%. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Blows my mind how people don't realize what's going on with our economy and just blame eBay. Well, I don't think anybody's really doing that. Everybody knows what's going on with the economy. They're not just blaming eBay. They're saying eBay is part of the problem. That's how many times have I said perfect storm, Middle class is getting phased out, and that's who buys on eBay. I've gotten so many messages lately from people who need to wait to pay day-in orders to pay for their $30 item. That hasn't really increased for me. It's always been a few here and there, but that hasn't been an increase for me. Actually, I've probably received more straight up purchases now. I mean, you see me go over my non-paying bidders yesterday. I mean, that was low. And it has been low for me for a little while now, compared to before where I would have at least 5 a day. So that's actually dropped for me. On a positive note, why not use a short video on YouTube, the pledge to remove promoted listings for a month, and then the clip of turning off, and try to make some money on it? I'm not sure what that's saying. The clip of turning off. Oh, I see what you're saying. I think I learned my lesson that my store it causes too much stress on me and worry on me. I have enough already with numbers not being where they're supposed to be. I got to stop saying that with that whole new outlook. Numbers are not where they used to be. Let's just put it that way. So I wonder, the whole quality over quantity thing. So that after I get back from vacation, I'm going to start testing that theory. Wells Fargo, why do they keep calling me? I got to set up that car payment today. They always call me when I'm on the toilet or on the phone here like this. So I never get to answer. But that's who the new car loan's through. Never had a car loan company calling me, or not even a car loan company, just any kind of thing. Just let me set it up. Shut up. It ain't due till December 1st anyway. Leave me alone. But when I get back, I'm going to start testing that theory. I am going to focus on increasing hats by X amount and see if that increases the dollar by X amount. Today is Friday. We'll go over the numbers too. And we'll see if they coincide or if no matter how many more you put up, you're still going to be suppressed type of feel. So maybe when I get back, I start playing that. That'll help me focus, get stuff listed. Either way, it'll eventually get moved over to Posh, which will generate more sales there. So either way it goes, it'll be a positive thing, I would think. I mean, you can't sell it if it's not listed. So is it worth having, instead of 51,000 unique items, to have 75,000 unique items? Will the numbers increase? Let's find out. That's where I'm going to go when I get back. So we'll see. I've got the inventory to test it, right? So, and then also too, who knows how many good dollar quality items I have in storage, which will only help. So, well, you're doing the correct thing in blogging it. Ultimately, only you can make the changes. The viewers can only reflect their thoughts, whether it's positive or negative light. That was my little comment about feeling overwhelmed lately, and kind of looking at things differently, 10 at a time, instead of just looking at the mass of it all, you know. I think that's one thing, I guess, people some people who watch this channel or complain about this channel don't realize it's kind of a blog on top of everything else. I mean, I say anything and everything. So how I'm feeling to how things are going. It's pretty much like a blog of an eBay seller. I never really personally even looked at it like that. I always try to look at it more as trying to help others, like first and foremost. And then I always felt like I put a lot of pressure on myself to actually have a topic every day. So maybe I just need to realize it's basically a blog there to help everybody, from eBay issues to your puppy dying. You know, seeing what other people go through when that happens, you know? I mean, maybe I need to look at it as more of a rounded channel. I mean, that's kind of like one of the reasons I named it the way I did, My Boring Reseller Life. So maybe when I get back, I start focusing on that when it comes to like my thumbnails and titles. And maybe that will just, help the channel grow also on top of it. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm going through that where I'm trying to change my focus on everything. When I get back to, one thing I'm doing is I'm going to the store and I'm going back on a change of eating pattern that worked for me in the past, where I go and buy my steak and chicken for the week in like 2-ounce sizes for each meal, 2 meals a day. And then I get my like radishes, cherry tomatoes, my grapes, salted peanuts, because that makes me drink water. And I got to start focusing on that for the winter in hopes that by spring, I'm back in my size large t-shirts again and feeling good. Because I got to realize too, this little bit of inner tube around me, it ain't much compared to what people are these days. But in my head, it's not me. I don't look at other people and think, oh, that person's overweight or that person's blah, blah, blah. Because I'm more of a personality type person anyway. But when it comes to myself, if I don't feel right in my body, then that's got to change, right? Something has to change about it, whether that's your mindset or losing 20 pounds, right? So I'm after the other day of talking with myself basically and typing that big old paragraph thing that's in the community section, it almost felt like the next step in my release, my, letting things go, if you will. Even though I still, but I'm better, a lot better. But just gotta, it's hard to focus, on yourself when you look at things in I don't want to say a negative light with eBay, but you're consumed by trying to figure it out, right? Or at least me is what I'm talking. So I just got to accept what it is 100%. I got to accept the way it is 100%. I got to act like this is the way it's going to be till the end of time. Now, what am I going to do differently? And I think I'm in that spot now where I am mentally making those changes, knowing what I need to do or try to do or the things I can do. I've got the product, just get it listed and see where it goes, type of thing. And then that also comes into play with everything else in my life, looking at it all differently right now. So I've got to start. I've said this time and time before in videos, and I've always been this my entire life, and I think it's because the way I was raised. I always look at tomorrow. I'm always one step ahead and looking at the day or the week or the next day or whatever. But the bad part about that is I don't get to enjoy today ever, because I'm always looking at tomorrow. I'm always looking at that next step. I'm always trying to survive another day, so I don't get to enjoy today. I've got to figure out how to get out of that mindset, because I've been in it since the teenage years, right? Because I didn't want to enjoy the day per se that I was in then. I wanted to get the hell out. So I was always looking at my next step. And I carried that over in everything in my life, even to girlfriends in the past when I was younger. I always looked at the next one instead of enjoying the one. Now, not like cheating or anything, but I always made excuses why this one wasn't going to work without even trying or giving it a chance. I was always looking at tomorrow, never. And then, of course, I always put myself in a bubble. I was always very selfish, very protective. And that might have been part of it also. So. But then, like I said, I don't want to always figure it out, because once you figure it out, then you die. It always seems like the people who have things figured out end up dying. Die way too early, as they say, type of thing. They still had more to give. So I don't want to figure it all out, because I don't want to die yet. At least not today. The other day I felt like it. Like depression just had me down mentally. I was just dragging myself down for some reason. I think that was the day I wrote that statement. I just felt so depressed, and I couldn't, no matter what I did, I couldn't get myself out of that headspace. So I was happy to go to sleep that night to get through that day. But I am definitely feeling more at peace with everything. With the eBay website, with the puppy situation. knowing what I might be facing in the next year or two. I've always been a person like that too, who always accept what was coming, so it wasn't so hard on me. Like with Vern, how can I say this without sounding bad? My mom dying, I expected it. I prepared myself for it. She smoked forever. I knew I was eventually going to catch up with her. My dad dying, I expected it, but it did happen kind of weird and suckily. Is that a word? Where he was 8 days in the hospital and we couldn't go in and see him because of COVID, and he died in the hospital after 8 days. That was a sucky situation. But I expected it. With Vern, like with Courtney, I'm expecting it. With Vern, it was just out of left field. And I didn't prepare myself for it. So I got to stop looking at tomorrow. No matter. I got to start looking at tomorrow and feel today. Even if that feeling is not a happy and positive one. I need to feel it. If that makes sense. Stop preparing for tomorrow. Enjoy the moment today. So that's the headspace. I'm glad I'm going into vacation with this headspace turning and processing, because I think with this downtime, it's going to allow me to transition better, as long as I don't let something like the eBay website start pulling me back down once I get back. I got to make sure, because I deal with it all day, every day, right? I see the errors, I see the failures, I see the problems every day. I have to make sure I just focus on list, you know, the fun stuff, reorganizing. I've got to just change the way I perceived everything. As Josh was kind of talking yesterday on his live. And I've always been that way, but yet it seems like I haven't been with eBay, where you always blame yourself. And as I've talked about in many videos before, even in the past, growing up, if I would have walked down the street and got jumped, I'd blame me for walking down that street, because I knew better. That's why I always kind of watched where I was going. Always lived by the motto of, you know, you are your friends, you know, type of thing. You are the people you hang with. So I was always very strict with where I went, who I hung with, everything. I was very guarded of my life as a whole and where I wanted to go. And I've said it before, but I think not every video, obviously, where I go, okay, first, take responsibility for yourself. Look at yourself first before you blame eBay. Is there anything you can do or change? But I'm always about, too, don't be too hard on yourself when you know there's outside forces coming at you, because it could allow you to make bad decisions. So you have to assess the situation properly in order to move forward in a more organized fashion, I guess you could say. So, I don't know. I'd be curious to watch, and even though I can't, to watch like my last year of videos and see where my mindset, if it has shifted, changed, grown, where it has gone. But I can't do that. I can't watch my videos. That being said, I do have a new video coming out tonight on the sold business. Before I go, the last one I don't even think has 300 views yet. The first one was, I think, at 1,300. So hopefully it coming out tonight on a Friday night might help it spike a little more in the algorithm. We'll see. And then I started making a surprise one yesterday. I was just going to put it up like the middle of next week, since I'm going to be gone all week. And my camera just started, it's a follow me camera, but I have it stabilized now, and it just started like falling. And then it went crooked. And then it went crooked. And so all you could see was like the corner of my desk. And I'm like, hey. So I'm like, well, crap, stop. So I got to redo that one again. See if I get time, I'll redo that one today and get it staged for next week. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Because, I mean, well, I'm at $141 right now, going on 11 a.m. But like that Sunday, $1,100, over $1,100, that gives you hope at least. So I got to remember those days. Like, something happened that day that was more normal than, or what was reminiscent of what used to be normal for me. I just got to keep that hope alive, that it will get back to that either through eBay fixing itself or me listing more items and making myself get back to there. And then if and when eBay ever does bounce back, then my $1,000 days might turn into $1,500 days every day. So I got to start focusing in on that. So sorry about this video if this kind of stuff bores you. I'm just, I'm leaving for tomorrow. I'm leaving for vacation tomorrow. I've got to make sure everything that's in my head is out so I can enjoy the scenery, the leaves changing. And I love being in that clear headspace, free headspace when I travel, because I interact with strangers. Like, that's never been me. I've always been very closed up. But there are times where, like, if I'm at the park, I won't necessarily talk to people, but I'll smile at them to get them to smile. I've always been like that. But I'm not a small talker in any way, shape, or form. I hate small talk. It annoys the hell out of me. It bores the crap out of me. And like, but I take small talk to a personal level, if you will. Like, if I'm at a gas station, or we stop at a thrift store or whatever, and I just strike up a conversation with somebody, it's about something personal. The car they're driving, the clothes they're wearing, their hairstyle. Oh, I love your hair. As opposed to, how's the weather today? Make it more personal. So there's been a few trips I've been able to do that, and I enjoyed the hell out of it, because you get conversations and stories and with people that you'll never see again. But maybe this time, every time I do that, I'll hand them this and say, hey, check me out on YouTube. Maybe I use it as a tool now. When I do, just strike up conversation. How I can tell if I'm in that headspace or not, this may seem weird to you. Am I walking like this? Or am I walking like I got some music in my head and nothing's bothering me? I hold the door. There you go. After you, my dear. And it'd be a guy, after you, my dear. That's how I can tell when I'm in that free headspace. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm rocking to my own boat, So I'm preparing. I am not forcing myself to get in that space. I am clearing out my head so I am in that space, if you will. Can't force stuff like that. delivered. A return. Oh, no, that was one of the items. The first 4 stores I did on the sold business, I went in and bought an item from the people, the stores that I was doing. So that was one of the items I purchased. Just giving a little back, if you will. So I'll probably do that here and there. I didn't want to say anything, but now it just came up, and you know me, blabbermouth. So, but anyway, let's get to shipping some stuff. How about that? Because since I don't have the sales on, my stuff's decent dollar. It's just not as much, So let's see what did not get pulled, since a couple of items, like a couple of cassettes just sold. Cassettes, one for $6 and one for $8. So my question when I get back is, do I leave the media at this price, or do I put them back on sale to make sure that stuff moves quick, and just leave everything else off sale? My hats, my clothes, my shoes, all that, toys, because of fourth quarter, right? Because used media is not necessarily, it is a little bit a gift-giving thing. I guess it's more today than it was 10 years ago. But I guess when I get back from vacation, I'll look and see how much, I got to do my numbers, see how much media I sold while I was gone, and that'll determine whether I put them back on sale or not. Because I can be happy. I'm fine with selling 35 items a day if I make $600, right? So I got to look at it that way. So we're going to do last week's numbers. I'm excited. I missed it like a week, didn't I? So I was kind of getting into this. So, and this is compared to the week prior, $4,039, down 0.7%. 237 items sold, down 11.6%. And my selling cost is at 50.8%, so that's a little high. And I wonder if putting it back on the 15% has something to do with it. Because when I was running the dynamic, it was fine. So I went ahead and put it back on dynamic this morning to just stay there while I'm gone, to make sure I'm stay under that 50%. My average per price item, $17, up 12%. So that's good. All right, are you ready? Oh, wow. Wow. Major changes. Wow. And none of them hit $1,000. Wow. Did I do this right? Let me make sure I got the dates right here. No, I got the dates right. Wow. Okay, number 5 on the list. I guess it was only a matter of time. They dropped 2 spots, cassette tapes. Dropped down to number 5. $268 sold, down 13.3%. But number 4 is the one I said I was going to be working on, which I kind of had, but haven't really lately. And that's men's t-shirts. Men's t-shirts coming in at number 4. $300 sold last week, up 16%. So even going into winter, t-shirts are still strong. And I don't have very many t-shirts up. So that kind of tells you, out of all my top, maybe number 2 might be in the same category. But I don't have very many t-shirts listed compared to what's selling. So that means the sell-through rate on t-shirts are pretty good. Because I definitely have a hell of a lot more cassettes listed than t-shirts. A hell of a lot more. I may only have 1,000 t-shirts, if that, listed. Where I got 13,000 cassettes, right? So, number 3 on the list, falling one spot. Music CDs. $434, down 44.6% on the CDs. Now, I do expect the media to fall again this week while I'm gone, being I don't have it 30% off. Because I price everything as if there was going to be a 30% off, you know. Especially with media, I never price the lowest because the lowest is usually $4 or $5 with free shipping, and I'm not going to even try to compete with things like that. And like that one, the biggest seller that was on there, well, one of the biggest sellers, Declutter, which always had 550,000 pieces, they're down to 150,000 now. So they're mostly media. So they have dropped huge numbers. So that's less competition. So why drop my prices? You know, if the low-end competition is starting to go away because it's not sustainable over long periods of time, and I've always said that, it seems like that business was built for bankruptcy. The owner to get rich, then file for business bankruptcy and live out the rest of their life happy. That's what it felt like that business was built for. And that is sometimes business plans. Number 2, and I don't even remember, I guess because they're higher dollar. Men's coats and jackets going into winter. $475, up 875%. What? That shows the power of seasonality items right there. And number 1, as always, men's hats. $883, down 7.7%. So even though I haven't really put a lot of hats up this past week compared to what I used to put up, actually I haven't put up any even near as many hats for the last month as I used to put up. Still strong numbers though. It's usually over $1,000, but as we know, this hasn't been the best week on eBay after Sunday. So after Sunday, everything just kind of tanked. So be curious to see how it changes next week. So there we are. Nice little surprises. You know what? A lot of people don't like change. But I've always viewed this change as good. For 2 reasons. You never know where it's going to lead you. And for the second one, I don't want to feel like my parents, who couldn't change, didn't want to change, was happy being miserable. Something I never wanted to be. So I always made sure, I told myself, no matter what in life, you're going to embrace change. So it's now time to start embracing eBay's change. And if I have to work double time, then I got to work double time. Because it's not like it's work to me. I enjoy the hell out of it. So. And working double time compared to what I did all summer just means focusing more, to be honest with you, because I wasted a lot of time this summer. And that was the plan, though. Get my head right. Try to get, well, at least start getting it right. I was hoping to get it right, but I'm still there. I'm right on the cusp of it being back where it needs to be. So I think it was a successful summer in my eyes, mentally. So I am happy with that. Even if the numbers here and the numbers here don't show it. Now it's time to start focusing on here and here. So it's time to get focused back on the numbers. So, all right, first up, we've got this Cardinals Cooperstown baseball cap. I sold for $11, headed to Utah. can't believe somebody said, how can you suggest 8x6x4 hat or for boxes for hats? They don't fit. How do you not fit a hat? Still makes me wonder if they got the wrong size box or what. How do you not fit a hat in there? This is going to Mindy, and there it is. I was like, what do you do with my marker? What did you do with my marker, boy? I don't want to put those on the ground because then I will have to bend over to get them. And I want to bend very little today. So let me move some stuff out of the way. Hang that there. Okay. All right, next up. This has been in my store forever. Never even got an offer on it. Another one, I'm like, why hasn't this thing sold? And I actually even think I took it down, retook pictures, and relisted it. New Kids on the Block, vintage hat. So I took an offer and sold for $20. So there we go. Headed to Michigan. How do hats not fit in a box? I don't get it. I don't understand. Ooh, something got in my throat right there. Lynette. So yeah, if any of you are in the Nashville area, I'm probably going to do the Benz Sunday, and I'm going to do the more urban one, the dirtier one, the down and dirty, because that's how I like to get. That's how I like to get when I'm thrifting, down and dirty. That's when you get the good stuff. Come on out, hang out, say hi. I'll try to be more in a personable mode than a work mode. I mean, if you came to the Benz here, right by my house, and you saw me, you'd probably have to give me 20 minutes because I'm zoning in. So this trip, I'm going to try to zone out less and just be a happy picker. Get what I get, whatever. I'm on vacation type of thing, you know. So I believe Coco and Bay, they live in Nashville. I believe if they don't have nothing going on, they're going to meet up. So that'd be kind of cool. Love It Live. Looks like Christian bands. DVD. Sold for $420. Headed to North Carolina. How'd that sell for my sale price? I'm guessing it was bought prior and they're just now paying. Same with the next DVD. Because on my offers, I'm only... Oh, the DVDs are still on sale. That's right. I said that yesterday. Because I ended up accidentally scheduling them to go off in November 30th instead of October 31st. So I just left them on. That's right. And then, so we got 3 DVDs in a row because of it. 4 total. Maybe I do need to turn that media back on. Because I only got 2 other medias. 3 other media pieces here. So I've got 4 that was on sale. DVDs, which... When's the last time I sold 4 DVDs at one time? Especially with just so little being shipped. And only 1 CD and 2 cassettes. Maybe I turn those back on before I leave, maybe. I mean, it makes sense the way I price them. But with the other stuff, you know, like t-shirts and hats, I got a lot of one-offs. So there's no point in putting those back on sale while I'm gone. It's headed to North Carolina. I'll leave him off just so he don't have as much to ship. Even though he had a whole lot of vacation, so he took vacation to stay home. So he being Adrian. Roman Holiday DVD sold for $420. Headed to Rising Sun, Indiana. I just remembered 2 days ago to use my eBay credit, my $150 credit for my store to buy things. So I bought more hat boxes. Get off my finger. Get off of my finger. Sherry, oh Sherry, I'm all alone. Hold on, hold on. Taggart. Sold for $335. Oh, I know why. I gotta resurface these though. Since I'm not running a sale, when I do my offers to buyers, when stuff's on sale, I do it 10%. So since they weren't on sale, I do it 20%. But being these are on sale still, that's why it's $335. That makes sense. So headed to New Hope, Minnesota. I need to resurface this before it goes out. I don't even know why I'm doing that. Let's just put it on there like that. And that would be 6. Oh, let me change that before I forget. Okay. This is going to Thomas. Next up, we've got Waterway. Staying in the area, St. Louis, sold for $8. Oh, Sherry. I'm gonna try to do like I'm always like in my certain mood, or I like to try to get outside of my comfort zone when I go on vacations too. And one thing that I'm sitting there go, why haven't I really ever done this? Or maybe I have and I just don't remember. Like when I'm in the Smoky Mountains, I'm going to turn on AM radio and see if I can find any old school Tennessee backwoods vibe music playing. You know, that you would normally probably hear, you would have heard 50 years ago, whether that's bluegrass or whatever. So I think I'm gonna try to explore stuff like that. Put myself. That's one thing I like to do on vacations is not just explore different areas, but explore different mindsets. And what's huge for me is music. And I forgot to pull this other CD. I'm going to go look for this real quick. I got Transvision Vamp. Say it, James. This one sold for $10. The other one sold for $8. Headed to Arizona. I'll try to do this real quick. coming. Don't leave without me. I'm coming. There's the other one. Boom, boom, boom. Biggity bam. I don't like spam. Okay. 9. No, not ground. Medium ale. Pat. Pot. Next up, we got these Lands' End slip-on shoes. These sold for $17. Headed to Fort Collins, Colorado. Richard. Richard. Next up, we got Dragon Ball Z, number 6. This was bought at that hoarder garage that I did over the summer. I never went back there. I drove by there a few times and saw the whole family out there cleaning out the place. They had a big dumpster, and I'm like, do I just stop and ask them if I can just start digging through the dumpster? And I'm like, do I really need to do that? I got so much stuff. And I'm like, but I found that Hot Wheel. But I just decided, screw it. But that sold for $7. So who knows what good stuff they ended up throwing away. They were just trying to get the house cleaned out so they could put it up for sale, because that was their parents' house who passed away. These things seem to have gotten a little tighter. This extra spot on there. A little bit of a hard time. Keep from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Cool. Next up, we got, are you ready for a cassette line? Yeah. I like my new setups where I'm doing them because very easy to pull, especially these cassettes and the CDs that came out of my new setups. So I got some Arthur Fielder cassette tapes. One sold for $4.80, the other sold for $8. Headed to Massachusetts. So that definitely gave me a little kick in the butt, because I'm like, yeah, keep going, James. A lot easier to pull. You're on the right track. D. Wilson. Next up, we got this Snoopy top, women's top here. Snoopy. This sold for $15. Headed to Sumner, Washington. Melissa. Melissa. We got a Newton running hat. And that sold for $12. Headed to West Palm Beach, Florida. Ooh, a $50 offer on Olivia Newton-John CD. I think I priced it at $79. No, there was none up, so I priced it at $99. They only got like 18 feedback. So there's a chance they probably wouldn't even pay if I do accept it. I'll have to think about that one then. I would take it if they had bigger feedback and I knew they would pay right out of the gate. Okay. Buy labels. So what you want? What you want? I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Spinning Wheel of Death, come on. Thank you. What you want? Come on, ease on down the road. Come on in, ease on down the road. Boink. Come on in, ease on down the road. Heath. Come on in, ease on down the road. Melissa. Pure energy. D. Wilson. Cole. Well, one good thing about going on vacation this year, normally when I go on vacation, I want to watch the Blues games. They're going to be so bad this year, I don't even care if I miss them. I'm going to go ahead and take this offer just in case. I know I got 90% sure they're not going to pay, but we'll see. And then I got $16 on these khaki pants. I will take that too. Thank you. Thank you for the offer. Which is weird because, like, I went 12 hours, only 3 offers. I'm like, oh, that seems a little off. All right, Richard. Pat Garrett. Jake from State Farm. Thomas. Sherry. Oh, it was upside down. I'm like, why can't I read that? It's upside down. Seth. Rollins. Lynette. And Mindy. With Mark. Mark and Mindy. No international again. That's 2 mornings in a row with no international. which is a little odd. All right. So we are at 11:30 and I'm at $141, and that is all. All righty. You might see me in some weird videos or just some scenic videos next week. So I'm sure I'll put whatever I record up if I remember to record anything. I got to remember to do that. So I'll try to put the thing on at the Benz in Nashville, do a little Nashville video, thrifting video. And I'm going to keep that in the front seat, so if we stop at any oddball places, I'll go ahead and put it on also too. So any little thrift shops or flea markets or whatever we might find. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you. And I'm going to relax and enjoy myself. So I'll see you all in the next video. Later.